toot, on Tooty Toot, on Wooty Toot Toot, on Wooty Toot Toot, on Wooty Toot, on Tooty Toot.
So you know that my new book, The Shiny Shenanigans of Aunties and Squirrel, the twin ants are based on you two. Like
I'm so glad, and we're honored. Thank you.
I mean, they're really they always have like something up their sleeves. They're always kind of in the corner giggling, and the way that I wrote them is they never huddle to find out what the other one's thinking. You know what I mean? They never confer with each other because they just know. So when something happens, one of them talks and the other one talks, right? And they finish each other's sentences, and because that's what I grew up with, watching you two. I mean, even when you didn't live in even when you weren't face to face, you would do that. It would freak me out. You know, like mom would wake up and she goes, "Oh, I have to call Jeannie because her back hurts." I'm like, "How do you know that?" "Oh, I dreamed that her back hurts." "Yeah." "Oh, how's your back?" "Oh, it hurts." You know, I'm just like, they're witches.
Right.
So how was it growing up as twins?
Well, it was very fun. We did a lot together, you know, almost everything together. And we always had a playmate.
Yeah,
right. Even though we sometimes wrestled and yeah, you know, that kind of stuff like that. But we always had a playmate, and I think we probably took each other for granted because we just thought we were one person.
Yes. And was that hard? You know, this book is about gender stereotypes and bias and stuff like that. And so I would think was that hard for like dating, and did you feel different from the other girls?
I thought it was fun dressing alike and all that kind of stuff until about 8th grade. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, I've got different interests than Joyce and vice versa, and you know, that kind of stuff. And then it got sometimes a little competitive as we grew up.
Yeah, and how did you deal with that? And was the only way that you kind of made yourselves individuals was mainly through fashion, or was it through classes? Was it through school, friends? What was it?
You can tell from my fashion, can't you? And my makeup. And
it definitely was fashion.
I was the one that don't you think it was
both of your fashion plates? Yep.
Yeah, she wore the dress and I stayed home, you know, that kind of thing.
Because wasn't it hard separating after all that time? And did you feel like you lost a piece of you when you started doing that, or did you feel like you gained more of yourself?
Yep. Jeannie learned a lot in college, and she did a lot more in college than she did in high school, and it was good for her. And we traveled back and forth and visited each other's dorms, which was fun. So we had twice as many friends.
Yes, and I know that you would never take each other's classes for each other or anything like that, because that would be not good. But did you ever go on
that would be cheating? Of course we did.
So you went on date, but I mean, no, I know you went on dates, but I mean, did you ever go on dates as the other one?
Well, we started to one time. I think I went in the place of Jeannie.
Did you?
Yeah.
David?
No. Well,
no.
I actually went out with David Snow once because I didn't want this other girl to go out with him because she was after him.
But you didn't want to go out with him. You just wanted to block her.
Right. That was my tactic.
That was good.
So Jeannie knew. Yeah. But another time I tried to go out with somebody, but after we met at the door, then I just said I was Joyce and here's Jeannie.
Better to come clean.
Those type things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think you know, Aunt Jeannie, I've always been so close with you and just felt like you know, kindred spirits, and maybe it's probably because Mom and I are close too. But do you think we have a unique relationship? Don't you? I mean, I think we do. All my cousins with Kristen and BJ and Wendy, we all have a pretty unique.
Yes, you do. You're like my second son. Number one, you look a little bit like BJ.
I know we do.
Our kids do look a lot alike. Yep. I must say.
And teeth and cheeks.
Yes, and we do have a lot in common. I don't know what it was or anything else like that. I guess because maybe some of my tasteless behaviors.
I think so too. Inappropriate.
Yes, I think so. I think that was it.
Yeah, I think you were the one. You were the main reason that I never wanted to hang out with kids my own age because I just loved adults so much because you were so fun.
That's nice.
And you are very nice because you still like hanging out with your.
I do. I'm writing books about you, for goodness sake.
Mature, yes, more mature relatives.
Right.
Yeah,
And
somewhere.
you like going to Cabo with your mother.
Yes, we took a very romantic.
You like going to Cabo with your mother.
A very romantic trip with my mother to Cabo. Nothing weird about that.
Right.
And that was important, I think, too, for this book, was to create, not only is a single dad, right? The mayor in this book is a single dad. I never talk about Squirrel's mom, right? Because I wanted that to be not the topic of it, but I do want it to be a reality. And the same thing with having really the aunts are the ones who raised Squirrel and made him what he is today. And I wanted to also not, when I talk about sexual or gender bias and stereotypes, I didn't want to be like, women are in the kitchen, they need to have power, and men are the bad guy. Like, I didn't want to do any of that stuff. So when I was doing research and I found out that squirrels, this is the truth, the females are the ones that hunt, right? They're the ones who go out and get acorns and stash them for winter. And the guys just chase each other around the trees. That's what they do. So I'm like, oh, that's great. So what if this, female doesn't like to hunt, or what if this guy doesn't like to chase, maybe. And then I thought, well, what if they didn't, what if they didn't like either one of them? Right. And so they're determined before they're even born squirrels, they already have a job. And I was thinking of grandma and all this stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, but then there's people who just shine,
I think you've been surrounded by people, starting with your grandma, I think, that were pretty strong women, and women that were very humorous, but also very caring.
And didn't fit the mold. You know what I mean? Like, didn't fit the mold of like the quiet, demure grandmother. Like I don't picture ever Grandma Moni like knitting somewhere, you know what I mean? My grandmother, their mother used to call my grandfather Lightning because he was so slow.
Right.
So she'd be like, "Hey, Lightning." So I wanted a snail in it because snails are either genderless, or they can be both male and female gender. Okay, so that's why I wanted a snail as the narrator. But I wanted this narrator to just think, I am the fastest snail. I am like no other. And so I'm like, Finn has to be called Finn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So not only are you in it, but Grandpa's in it, and then Ella, my other little niece, she had this saying when COVID was going. So I asked her if I could put that in the book. So she has her own little picture and character in the book as well. And then my cousin Kristen, Aunt Jeannie's daughter, has been one of my teacher advisors from day one, and she tells me exactly what she thinks about these books before they go out, and she's been really helpful. And then my sister was based on Inch because she flew all over the world and was fearless, so every book has a little bit of family in it.
Very, very proud of you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely proud of you and
Thank
all
you.
your accomplishments. And you've always wanted to write a book, and you've done a number of them right now, and that's great.
Thank you. Yeah. All right, so the worldwide debut of the Aunt Wooty Toot and Aunt Tooty song, performed by Gene and Joyce. Thank you for doing this. Take it away.
On Wooty Toot,
On Tooty Toot,
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 on Wooty Toot, Toot, on Wooty Toot, Toot, on Wooty Toot,
on Tooty Toot,
on Wooty Toot, 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 on Wooty 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 Toot, on Wooty Toot, Wooty and Tooty. We are the Aunties, and we love Ron Roecker. How was that?
I don't know how I can love you any more than I love you two right now. My heart is full.
All right, I want to know what you're going to do with this.
I know a lot of music people. We may release this as a single.
All right, did our hair look all right and everything, and our makeup?
Like fashion. All right, thank you. I love you two very much.
I love you very much.
Thank you.
I love you
to you
and
soon.
good luck with your books and everything and keep us posted, okay?